Companions, this story comes to you from the north of Mozambique. In the modern world, we measure time meticulously in nanoseconds, and it rules and terrorizes our lives. And here in the wilderness, time, like we know it in the modern world, is irrelevant. All that counts here is the slow change from sunshine to rain, the change of the seasons, and the way a day dissolves into moments like dawn and morning and midday and afternoon and sunset and night. I know what the time is now, but not from the hands of my watch, from the way the heat threatens to stifle us like a thick blanket of smoke, and the way the cicadas scream frantically. They own this time of the day. All other life in the bush has sought rest in the shade, and we should too. The pool we came upon was unexpected. It lay in a shade, cast by tall trees that had grown verdant from its moisture. Its surface was undisturbed, except for the odd bubble that rose from time to time and popped and sent out small little ripples like words not quite spoken. The leaves had twirled into patterns that could mean anything I wanted them to. And along the edges of the pool, tadpoles clung in neat little rows. It's rare to find such clean, sweet water in the wilderness. It's usually a messy mixture of dung and mud that smells badly and is almost undrinkable. This pool invited a wanton plunge into its depths and deep draughts from its coolness. But we had to be cautious. Here, things are not always what they seem, and the face of danger and delight is often the same. We scouted around carefully. On the other end, in a gently sloping gully, we found the drag marks where a giant crocodile had heaved itself out of the water to sun itself. Almost everybody knows of crocs, but very few people know a lot about them. Although they are not amphibians, they spend a lot of time in the water and we don't see them, probably about half their time. The times we do see them, they are basking stationary on a sandbank with their mouths open. And by the way, this is not for the birds to clean their teeth, as is the legend. It is to regulate their temperature. On top of that, when the situation gets really tough, like in severe droughts, when the water dries out, crocs can actually dig themselves sort of a hibernation den and go in there, and they can survive for months on end. This pool is a little rivulet that runs only when it rains a lot. In the dry season, it stops, and then the African sun wrings the last bit of moisture from it until it becomes a gash of white sand and cracked mud that lurches across the savannah towards the Rovuma. The crocodile had probably wandered up its course when it was flowing. This is not unusual for a crocodile. Crocodiles are actually quite prolific travelers. I've often found their tracks quite far away from water in the veld. And once I found a fresh nest on the other side of a rocky outcrop in a sandy spot. Their eggs are very much like hen's eggs, although bigger, maybe by a quarter, and pure white. They prefer to lay these in soil, which they can dig open, and then they cover them. And the eggs need the sun to warm them so they can incubate. The mother stays around, she protects the eggs, and it's very necessary because those eggs are vulnerable to many different predators like the monitor lizard, mongooses, even birds. They all love these eggs if they can find them. But they're now covered in the sand and the mother looks after them. And when the little crocs are ready to hatch, they start making these funny sounds, something like but at a higher pitch than what I can. Then the mother comes along and she scratches open the nest and she helps crack the eggs and for the young ones to come out. And then she takes them in her mouth. She's got a special pouch in her throat where they go in, and then she transports them to the water. Crocs eat almost anything that's meat, including carrion if they can get to it. Fish, smaller crocodiles, any animal that is unwary enough to get too close to the water or ventures into the water. The maximum prey they can take on, something the size of a zebra or a wildebeest. They hunt by day and by night, and they've got extremely fine senses. They can smell well, they hear extremely well, their eyesight is excellent, and they've got these, what is known as integumentary sensors on their skins, around their mouth and all over their body. And these actually sense very slight movements in the water, also chemical changes and temperature changes. And this allows them to become aware of any movement in the water, such as prey that's entering the water or fish or whatever. They are the ultimate ambush predator. They can lie undetected, some people think, days waiting for prey to come close enough for them to strike. They are apex predators, and very few carnivores will take them on. The young ones may be up to about 2 meters long, yes, a lion, a leopard perhaps, but don't really have, as adults, natural predators, only humans. When they're small, of course, they are prey to many different carnivores, birds, fish, the crocodiles, monitor lizards, and the like. Their slow metabolism and their very slow lifestyle allows them to survive without food for extended periods, weeks, even longer. So for this croc, it's perfectly in order to lie around quietly and then at the right moment to strike something that comes close enough, like one of us. Its attack would be deadly. It would be stealthy like the leopard, and quick and deceptive like the calmness of the water. It would explode out of the water in an avalanche of spray. Its aim would be deadly. Those terrible jaws would clamp shut and the teeth would penetrate the flesh. And once that's happened, it would drag its victim to a watery death. There it would be torn limb from limb, gulped down whole. That would be our lot if we went into the water or even came too close to the edge. Companions, that night when I sat in my camp thinking about the day and listening to the swirl of life of the African wilderness around me, unseen, some of it benign, some of it dangerous, most of it little understood, I decided to write in my diary, and I'd like to read that to you now. It takes you back to the afternoon by the edge of the pool when we were resting. I read to you from my diary. As I sat staring at the deceptively smooth surface, I realized how pathetically vulnerable we as modern humans are to the undercurrents and forces of this ancient world. Here we are stripped of our comforting illusions of mastery. The wilderness neither knows nor cares about our technologies or our plans or our confidence. It moves according to its own laws and rhythms. Heat, thirst, fatigue, hidden predators, they all linger silently around us. Sometimes they gather impersonally into deadly combinations that might suddenly descend on us. The precarious instability of it gave me pause for a moment. But then I realized it is this very combination of wonderment and danger that is its gift to me. Merely to survive demands everything of me. Every sense, every instinct, Every fragment of experience accumulated over years needs to be tuned to lancet precision. There is no room for distraction, no room for pretense, no room for arguments or for complacency. In return, it grants me something the modern world cannot offer, a clarity of being in a world of fascinating complexity. It is dangerless, rare, and exhilarating. It is this union of danger, serenity, and uncertainty that keeps drawing me back into the raw heart of Africa. I hope you enjoyed that and that you will join me again next week. If you liked this, please give me a like on YouTube and join my channel. Good luck to you until next time.